But we do want to just focus in on the Pacific for a moment. One specific hurricane, Hurricane Kiko, and it's been a stunner to watch. Explosive, rapid development coming out of Kiko over the past 24 hours. It is now a Category 4 hurricane, and you're noticing here from satellite imagery, this posted 2X from CIRA, showing you have those multiple bands of swirling clouds around Kiko's eye, which became very visible this time yesterday. Meteorologist Michael Estime joining us now. So we're talking about Kiko, and right now, very strong hurricane, Michael. But then we also have to look down the road yet again about a week or so to see how Hawaii could become a part of the story, too.
Yeah, and it may become a part of the story as soon as Tuesday and Wednesday, Marissa, of next week. So all 1.4 million Americans that live on all 8 of the Hawaiian islands, certainly something to keep tabs on. Quick live look outside in Hawaii, by the way. It's very early, dark and early this morning there, right? 78 degrees-ish or so current temp. In Honolulu, here we are at 73 degrees. It's the calm before the storm. Let me take you back to the maps and show you what it looks like behind me. Kiko currently has winds of 145 miles per hour. It's actually a high-end Category 4 storm, usually on the Saffir-Simpson scale. The Cat 4 scale begins at, about 130 to 131 miles per hour. So we're doing about 15 miles per hour better than that. Let's do a deep dive into Kiko. Here's visible satellite imagery showing you just a beautifully symmetrical hurricane, not just in terms of its size, but also in terms of its eye wall, which is about 10 to 15 miles or so in diameter. Infrared imagery, this shows cloud top temperatures. They're nice and cold. That means they're deep and dark red is what we're seeing. About 1,500 miles or so away from the Hawaiian Islands right now. But as we mentioned, it's projected by Tuesday and on Wednesday to get dangerously close to Hawaii. And here's the thing, when I put on our spaghetti plots, what you'll notice, and this is kind of what Stephen was talking about, after day 6 and 7, we're back in a kind of fairy tale land, if you will. So the models are saying, all right, some of our forecast models projecting that this will move just north of the Hawaiian Islands, a number of them saying it moves south. But notice that there's a good congruence that several of them suggesting that the Hawaiian Islands could see a direct impact from Kiko. Here's the good news, though. It will move into cooler water temperatures. That'll help to just kind of lessen the gas, if you will. And with it, we're expecting showers. So although we're expecting a couple of spotty showers in the days ahead, this would be a great time to prepare, right, if you're on any of the Hawaiian Islands. Do we need the rain? Absolutely. 68% of the island is in drought. And you'll note where those winds are. We're expecting these winds, as Kiko approaches, to certainly pick up. We're also expecting for those wave heights to pick up. So obviously Hawaii, a lot of surfers out that way. They might be looking forward to that. But for the rest of us, though, I really want you to take advantage of the days ahead because, Marissa, as we look at Thursday, Friday, into the weekend, this is good times to prepare, especially if you're new to Hawaii, because by the time we get to Tuesday and on Wednesday, it's not just showers, but it's the wind element to all of this. It's going to be the dangerous surf, the rip currents that could become dangerous, if not life-threatening. But again, just to put a bow on things, Tuesday, Wednesday, next week is the day that the days that we'll have to keep a very close eye on. And we are expecting Kiko to weaken as it approaches, but better to be safe than sorry.
And you know, I guess the reality is when you were speaking, realizing we don't have the Hawaiian Islands that have that much interaction typically with certainly a landfalling hurricane, but also how often are we monitoring remnants of a system? It just doesn't happen that often. So paying attention to the rain threat, especially that increased moisture that we could see by early next week. Michael, thank you.